What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Ra. His name is Tunison. His opponent today playing in the red color as Isis. His name is Count Von Count. Team Respawn TV, thank you for the raiding party. I appreciate you guys. I hope your stream went well. We're currently in Game 2 of the Best of 5 series for the relegation stage of the Champions League. To unpack it for those of you who are just tuning in and not exactly sure how Champions League works, effectively, the players play. We basically have a qualifying round generally before the tournament, but there are players who receive invites to the tournament first and foremost. And the players will not receive the invites will be the players who are losing. Rather, the Challengers League players who win will find their get those invites for season number 4 is the general idea here for this tournament. But first game going to Tunison. If basically this is the first stage of the relegation as well. The winner here is safe. The loser will have to fight a challenger player. The best of the challenger players, actually, the top 4, will be the ones that they have to fight. And we'll see how it's going to go. Both partner with MetaPlays. Well, shout out to MetaPlays as well. MetaPlays is a very, very fantastic organization who hosts a whole bunch of competitive tournaments for a myriad of the lesser known RTS games, Age of Mythology being one of them. So big thumbs up there. If you want to see some more RTS content, definitely go over and check them out. MetaPlays RTS, I believe, is their YouTube channel. Alrighty. So we're on the map Midgard, and we do see both players opting into changing their god up. Tunison deciding to go with Ra. A little bit of a surprise here, considering he is an Uranus specialist. I don't believe that Uranus is bad on this map by any stretch of the imagination. I think Uranus is completely playable, especially with the help of the Heroic Age Nereid. Effectively, the way that I see it is there are 3 gods for each civilization, right? 2 of those gods have access to a Heroic Age water myth unit. 1 god doesn't. So the way that you work it out effectively is the most economic god will generally not have the water myth unit. So they make up for the fact they don't have that water myth unit by having the economic advantage. Take a look at Hades. He's got the defensive capabilities, the free shades, all of that stuff. So he gets that advantage. Ra with the priest empowerment doesn't get that advantage. Next is Thor with the dwarves being cheaper, doesn't get the Kraken, right? And then finally Atlantean with Gaia doesn't get that water myth unit. So there's that's kind of how Ensemble Studios balanced it out in the first stages. However, that water myth unit is so vitally important in the competitive side of things. And while I do believe that Hades, Ra, Gaia, Thor are very, very strong on this map as well, you can totally make it work. I think your best bet is to go in with a god, generally speaking, that's got access to those water myth units. And that's why I would generally say if you're gonna pick a god, I would stay away from Ra most of the time on this map, unless you are a Ra specialist who really understands these sorts of things. As we see Tunison having to move over onto these walrus here, not exactly what he's going to be wanting to do. A very, very rough opening here with the awkward amounts of food there. Count Von Count on the other side of things here. He's got a lot of villagers on gold. He's only put 4 villagers on the wood. Both players at around 11 and 12 fishing ships at this point. The point with all of the villagers on gold here, it seems, for Count Von Count, is he's going to be wanting to spam the docks. Lots of docks. Not really. The intention here with Isis against Ra should never be to be attempting to win water outright here. And in generally, on Midgard, the intention of winning water outright is just not really something that's possible. You can go for raids all throughout the game, hitting fishing ships and things like that, but actually killing off everyone's docks tends to be something that's not really possible. As we see Bast coming through, most likely Tunison will be going through Tar here, as we do see that Tar coming through. But point being is you don't need to win the water. You just need to defend your water and then attempt to win the land because you're going to get gold starved on this map if you overcommit on the water. You can see the gold mine here behind this town center. You lose this town center, you lose this gold mine. The gold mine over here as well with this town center here, same deal there. If you have no units, Ancestors Eclipse will make your life very, very tough. As we see Count Von Count getting himself the pickaxe. I imagine hand axe, is that already in? Hand axe not in yet, but I imagine that's going to come through. Same thing for for Tunison here as well. He's got himself his monument. He's getting himself the houses up. Both players here, 16 fish apiece here. Generally speaking, 18 fish, 21 fish. Those are the kind of numbers you're looking for in the early game here. But both players a little bit behind that at the moment. As we do see, there's plenty of fishing spots here. This Midgard spawn has been very, very generous as we see Count immediately getting himself that purse scene, an armory getting dropped down. And those villagers effectively here, they should be making their way over to the gold mine. And we'll see what's going to happen. Are we seeing some cabinets coming out already? I don't see they are cabinets coming out. Another little trick you can do if you want to elevate your Egyptian, specifically, it's different for other civilizations, but elevate your Egyptian on water maps to the next level is be greedy and grab yourself early shaft mine before you start making the cabinets. Idea being, even if you get pushed off the fish, getting that shaft mine pushes your gold income up so much that you're going to be able to get yourself to the heroic age and have a much better game rather than getting out those extra 2 cabinets early. Simply just sitting underneath your dock is more than enough to pay to make up for that loss. And we aren't seeing that here from either player, it seems, as Tunison actually hasn't started training his cabinets yet. He's got all the resources to train them, though, and he's obviously just waiting to see what Count Von Count's doing. If he sees some cabinets, he might start training him. He's got all the docks in the world to make this happen, and he just wants to make sure he's in the right place at the right time. So we do see that that prosperity coming down. This is exactly how you're supposed to use prosperity on Midgard as ISIS. While I say that on a land map, it's better to be utilizing the prosperity with as many villages on the gold as you possibly can. On the water map, you're using it to make up for the fact that you're getting this extra food income, spending the resources as soon as you possibly can, getting that timing in as Nephthys is coming through here for Count Von Count. Tunison, on the other hand, he's already got the gold as well because he's been putting villagers onto gold non-stop here. Does he have shaft mine? No. But he's got the priest empowerment, so that's basically giving him the effectiveness of that prosperity after all is said and done. As Count Von Count is going to be retreating back. He's looking for the cabinet raids here. For those of you who don't know Count Von Count or haven't watched as many games of him as I have, he is one of the highest APM players in Age of Mythology, and I'm sure that Midgard is a map that he really, really enjoys because it allows him to continuously hit these raids onto the fish throughout the entirety of the game, which makes it very, very tough to deal with. As the Sphinx moving in for Count Von Count, going to be looking to take out a villager or 2 here, though the Pharaoh is in already, and Count sees that, going to be retreating away for the time being. The question now is, what sort of an Ancestors Eclipse are we going to see from Count Von Count? Does he go for the economic damage with the Ancestors Eclipse, or does he go for a timing with the Ancestors Eclipse? He's going for the economic damage as those villagers moving down to the town center over here. We'll see if Count noticed that or not, as those villagers have already left. We see a Migdol stronghold literally getting slapped down on the front of this base here with the Pharaoh moving forward. The Hathor will pop out, but no ability to utilize Locust during the eclipse, so he's not going to be able to stop this one. The priests need to be in position to take out that Patsukos as well, as we do see the minions coming over onto this position. As Count, he hasn't brought his minions through just yet. Meanwhile, the cabinets are still looking for fishing ship raids here, as the priests coming over here to start looking for a little bit of damage done onto that position. The Scorpion Men coming around as well, as these minions, they're still not moving in onto this position here. The priest's going to be able to take out the Wadjet here, as those 2 minions getting some damage done. We see the Scorpion Men coming through as the Pharaoh retreats back. That Scorpion Man's going to start being able to pick off villagers very, very fast, especially with Eclipse, as Count Von Count targets down the Pharaoh and the villagers. And now the Wadjet going to fall as well. We see up on this position here, the War Elephant starting to come out for Count. He's getting a ton of damage here. Tunison going to be kicking himself for having thought he could get this town center up. He needs to get a Migdol up. Another villager going down. The Eclipse is finished now. The town center has been denied, and in the 9th minute of this game, we see the tap out from Tunison, as Tunison just simply could not work out how to play around that one to the best of his ability there. Really smart play from Count Von Count, taking note of the fact that there were no priests. He scattered it out. He sent the Sphinx through. There was no priests out anywhere, and he meant he could go for that economic damage. Tunison, instead of going for the town center here, he needed to be putting up the Migdol stronghold, literally in his base here, straight away. The answers to the clips, he needed to have himself out a handful of priests to deal with that as well. He could have done that. He had the gold, he had the temple, he could have built some priests out, but he just simply didn't decide to do so. And Count controls the Migdol here. The archership control here from Count was amazing as well. Look at the fishing ships are still 17 versus 18, but look at all the idle fish caused at this point here as well for Count Von Count. He's just causing absolute mayhem for Tunison in this game, and Tunison just floating like 2,500 resources in the end here. That's the game. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.